welcome to my first vlog. You'll see a selection of clips from my week at the musical theater improv course with Showstopper the musical. They won't all be in like landscape. A lot of them will be in portrait. I sort of decided to make this into a YouTube vlog halfway through the week. So yeah, but this is a start into YouTube journey. So I'm in London, a city I was last in when I was like 13, 14, so 10 years ago. I don't know the city at all. I'm going into this musical theater improv workshop and I do not know what to expect. I've had some experience with improv before. I've never had any experience with musical improv. I'm excited though. I'm really excited to be getting a feel of London these next 5 days. I'm really excited to sort of, take the next step in my acting journey. Yeah, I think I'm gonna meet some great people. Right now, I'm just itching to get started. To prepare for this, I listened to Improv Your Life by Pippa Evans, who is a part of Showstopper. So hopefully that'll help. I feel like that gave me some more foundational knowledge about improv. So now I just think I need to get in the space, meet the people, and yeah. Good morning. Day 2 of the improv workshop. Let's talk about yesterday first though. So yesterday was a lot of fun actually. We didn't start with just acting improv like I thought we would. We went straight onto musical improv. We did that with sung lines in invented language, just like la ba dee dee da ba ba da boo, stuff like that. We did that for quite a while and went on to ensemble singing, so creating a chorus essentially, sort of a simple melody that people could follow easily. And after the break, we went on to musical improv with text. We had a bunch of props set out in front of us, and you would go up when you felt like it, grab a prop, preferably one that hadn't been done, then you would create a song, a solo song, inspired by that prop. I was gonna go for a glove that was there, but then someone stood up, same time as me, let him go first. He chose the glove. So I didn't want to do the glove immediately after him, So I chose a book instead. I knew I wanted to do something with like the topic of, is a story written, like, do you have free will, basically. So I sat down. Chris in Showstopper, who was at the piano, incredible at following singers, incredible. He started playing. I was sitting there leafing through the book, and just while I was listening to the music, trying to get a feel for the melody, and then I started singing, is my story written like this story's written? Is my life just pre-written words on a page? That's how it started, and it went into like a song that was around 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. At one point, I dropped the book accidentally, which was actually blessing in disguise because it gave me the option to move on with the story. So I used that as like, now the book's been thrown away, or something like that. I wish I'd recorded the song. I was actually really happy with it. It was a lot of fun. That was the first time in the workshop where I felt like, oh my god, this is actually, oh, I love this. Then we went into the ensemble singing. Essentially, we were replicating the thing with having the chorus leader create a chorus, and then everyone joining in. So one person would have a line of the verse, then another person would have the line of the verse, and you'd be passing these along fairly obviously now in the beginning. And then after however many lines of verse you want, someone would come with the chorus, come with that offer of the chorus, and the rest of the group would accept it by repeating the chorus with them. And then it's up to the chorus leader to kind of finish that chorus off, and then you go into another verse. And it was actually quite fluid. It was surprising how quickly that came together. So we finished the day off by doing a full improvised scene, followed by an improvised chorus, followed by an improvised scene. It was really cool, actually. So we're gonna pick that up today, but today the focus will be on dance. So I'm bringing my dance shoes. Today with dance, I am gonna be out of my comfort zone. But out of your comfort zone is where growth happens. So let's grow, baby.
Day 3. So let's talk about yesterday first. As you know, we were going to do dancing yesterday. That turned out to be more physicality and movement, which I maybe should have guessed since it's an improv course. So learning steps and choreography wouldn't really make sense. What we were doing was essentially taking what we did with improvising songs and scenes on day 1. We were taking that and then we were incorporating simple, easy to repeat movements in the chorus so that it was easy for people to follow it and do the choreo. So the way it works is, for the structure, you've got the first verse, which every person will do like a line each, and then when it makes sense musically, it will come to the chorus leader, who will offer a chorus, a simple, easy to repeat chorus that the rest of the performers will then repeat on the second round. This time we then included like a simple movement. So we had a song about this French bakery where the chorus ended up being something like, we got the sweet treats, we got the sweet treats, we got the sweet treats here. Something like that. And then the movement for that was, we got the sweet treats, we got the sweet treats, we got the sweet treats here. And then obviously we can make it more complex as we learn and get better, but this was day 2. It was a really, really fun day with some awesome like team games that just really gave you feeling for how you could be together in the ensemble. And in the second half of the day, so remember how I said we were split up into two smaller groups from the main group? So in the second half of the day, the whole group came together, which was nice, and we got to do some work, all of us. There was this one game where you'll have a fisherman, and then the rest of the people will be fishes in his net. And the point is, like, he will hold you like that, and when he pulls you closer, you're meant to be going closer. When he pulls you or pushes you away, you're meant to be going away. When he drags you like that, the stream has to follow, and same. And then you go around the room, and then suddenly it switches to New Fisherman, and we would have this beautiful piano music in the background that would switch at, wow, I'm flicking my fingers a lot. That would switch at the slightest subtlety in the leader's hand movements. So that was probably my favorite exercise that we've done, because it really showed you the nuances in how different people lead and how different people offer, and also shows you the nuances in how you respond to different leaders. It was awesome. It was so fun. It's like, it is such a team effort. It appreciates everyone's different skill sets so much. And we worked a lot on creating good images on stage with each other, as in, when I say images, I mean like clusters. If you imagine a painting, we stand in one of those pictures, one of those portraits, clusters together, which is enticing for the audience. Yeah, no, there were some really cool songs, cool ensemble songs that happened yesterday. Some cool choices being made. A really fun day yesterday. I'm amazed actually at how far we've come in 2 days. Like, it was such a massive difference in everyone from day 1 to day 2. And now we're on day 3. Day 4. So we're on day 4 of the improv workshop. Yesterday was probably the most challenging day for me so far. We like cemented some of those core things with establishing who, what, where. So who you are, where you are, and what your relationship is like in a scene. We delved into more duets and ensemble type of scenes. In improv, the most important thing is figure out who you are, figure out where you are, figure out how you feel about each other, you know? And then you can start building that scene. I found that establishing that who, what, where early in the scene doesn't come naturally to me, so I need to keep that in my head and remember that. I was also noticing, so in improv, there's a concept called yes and. Essentially what that looks like is someone will come with an idea or an offer, and you will then take that offer, say yes to the offer, and add something more. So let's go for ice cream. Yes, and maybe we can have sprinkles on it. Yes, and then we can blah, blah. There is a sort of continuation of this called the no but. Hey, maybe we can go for ice cream. No, but I would go for some Chinese food. What I realized yesterday is that my default is to go more towards the no but, which can be a really effective tool, but the default should be yes and, because a no but can disrupt the flow. So it's better to use when you want to make a conscious choice or like you want to switch the scene around. Yeah, so that was interesting to notice. So my focus for today, day 4, is gonna be working on that, just have the yes and be at the forefront. So be like, great idea, mentally to everything, you know? And also just really cementing that who, what, where. That's gonna be my focus. Quick interjection from present day Stian, me. We also did a Meissner inspired exercise. So in Meissner technique, there's a repetition exercise where you'll have a scene partner and you'll, for example, go, you look nervous. The scene partner will repeat, you look nervous, and you'll keep going back and forth like that. No changing in inflection or anything. The next step, you look nervous, I look nervous. So they'll take that on themselves, I look nervous. Then the next step is you'll start changing the inflection. You look nervous, I look nervous, you look nervous, I look nervous, you look nervous, you look smug. So then you can switch it around. In the improv workshop, we took that technique and redid it a little bit. Here are some clips of that in practice. You look pensive.
You look fine.
Now level 2, you look, I am, really.
You look serene.
I am serene. You look wonderful.
I am wonderful.
So level 3 into a scene.
You look regal.
I am regal. I've done a lot in the last few years. It's a feeling that comes to you with time. You'll learn. Look at all these lands. Now I own them all. If you want to do the same, you'll do the same as me.
I can make a decision for myself. He says he's got all these lands. There are no other lands. I've got a plan. Decisions. I'm gonna make a decision. My friend,
Sit or stand. Sit or stand. I rule this land.
yes, you do, don't you? Decisions. I'm gonna make a decision. Decisions. I'm gonna make a decision. Today is going to be a really fun day. I'm looking forward to this one. We're working on status work and archetypes. So status work is essentially in a scene where you have one person say he's a king, another person is a servant. So then you have the difference of status. What happens if the status changes? Because a status can change all throughout a scene. There's actually an example from one of yesterday's improvised scenes. There were 2 characters. One of them was really like, and the other was more, and it started with, you look scary. I am scary. It was that sort of Devil Wears Prada dynamic. But then this character went, but you're not always this scary. I saw you in Zumba class last week. And this character took that offer, changed completely, and just like, oh, you do Zumba. Terrific. And the whole status changed. Now they went from being to being much more like here. And this character became more of a mentor character to this character. It was really interesting. And that's sort of the stuff I love. I tend to gravitate toward high status characters. So I'm going to challenge myself today to force myself into some low status roles. See how I do that, because that's sort of out of my comfort zone as well. It's not what I gravitate towards. Whereas some people will gravitate towards the low status and can do with having the high status in their repertoire as well. So for day 4, the day of status work, that was quite a fun day. We had this, in the afternoon, we had this status walk thing. So you would start by just walking past each other and then just say hi as you met. So both people would say hi. And then you'd follow the impulse of who was lower status, and you would lean into that. Or switch it around, it was sort of up to you. Because I wanted to really embrace some lower status roles, I decided to go way low status. So I was walking by, I was like, hi. And looked down straight after, and very engineered low status. And then when we had done that 3 times, the teacher would ask the room, so what do we think? Who was low status? Who was high status? And then based on those answers, we would assign the high status a role and then assign the low status a role. So for my scene partner, she became the president and I became just like an intern in the presidential cabinet, essentially. Her objective was to like sort of just really look down on me, really be a nasty high status character, right? So we walked. Oh yeah, and the high status would be asking the low status person a question for the continuation of the exercise. So we walked. I said hi, and then like kept walking, looked away, and then she was like, she stopped me and like, could you take the other hallway, please? And then I went to another part of the room. It's like, yeah, to showcase that. And then we did it the other way. And now the question was, could you stop existing, please? But she said this as we'd already walked past. So I was just standing there, stopped in my tracks. Then we switched it. So I became high status, she became low status, but the roles were the same. So she was still president, I was still intern. And she was still meant to ask the question. So we walked. I like just looked above her, sort of. She asked the question, can you forgive me? To which I just snorted and kept walking to showcase the high status. It's a fun exercise. And then we went into some solo songs where you'd have a high status character, they'd be doing a song, or you'd have a low status character, they'd be doing a song. And then we got the call for like a high status sort of pirate song. And I wanted to try that, so put my hand up. And it started out with 4 people in a scene speaking about my character, so this would be a character introduction song. And I was a pirate called Murderous Jack. When I looked at fish, they died. When I was angry at someone and looked at them, their legs would fall off, and blah, 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 blah. I was listening to all of this, and then I would come on when I felt it was right. I came on, and then it was my song. And the chorus was quite fun. It was just like, Murderous Jack, it's my name. Murderous Jack, I play a dangerous game. And would use what they had said about me in the song, with like the chopping of the legs or staring people like dead in the eye. And I said something about, when I look at people, their legs don't just fall off, I chop them off. And that's how I got the like Murderous Jack name.
It was quite fun. I like playing high status character, especially intimidating sort of villain characters. It's very fun because you can lean back and take a lot of time. Like if you just as a high status character, you walk around, you just look at everyone, you walk with a slow pace, and then you just stop and stare a person dead in the eye for an uncomfortable amount of time. Oh, I love that. That's so much fun. We worked on like what would a high status character do in terms of entering the scene. They would often like go around the back and then split through the middle instead of making excuses for how to come in most conveniently, you know. Where do they hold their head, their gaze? How would a low status character do that? And yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Murderous Jack is my name. Okay, so we've left London, we're back in Manchester. So let's talk about the final day of the improv workshop. So we started off with just some vocal warm-ups. Just getting our bodies moving. And then we divided our group into two smaller groups, did one run each of a short form 30-minute musical from start to finish, just to have done it before we did our showcase in the afternoon. The first group had quite a fun musical set on the top of the Empire State Building on New Year's Eve. And yeah, it had a plot and everything. And then there was my group. I'm not sure what happened with our group. We didn't really develop much of a plot. I think we tried to take in too many things and we kept adding more and more. Ours was set in the Greenwich Observatory, where like the atomic clock is and everything. And we tried building a story. It was a good experience to have before the actual showcase. How could this have happened? No one will know.
If I may interject, there was reason to be a change in the project leadership.
Would that affect?
Well, you see, I've been setting my watch by the Sagittarius array.
And the thing is, it's sort of different from the atomic clock right there, which the project leader should have taken into account.
But we don't want to point any fingers.
No, it's fine, Governor.
Then we had a break, and then we set up for groups, 4 separate musicals. So we set up to showcase those. It went better this time. This time my group was set at an oil rig. Still, we were trying to include a lot of things, but I think it feels very different to be watching someone else versus doing it yourself. So I do think watching it back, it ended up being better than it felt like in the moment. It felt like quite a big leap to have gone from doing maximum 5 to 10 minutes uninterrupted to doing half an hour uninterrupted. The most we had done previously was the opening song and a scene potentially going into the next song. So that was quite a leap. Overall, the week was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, like in terms of improv with the yes and being have that open mindset for offers. There's definitely some mindsets and habits I'm gonna take with me just in day-to-day life, really. But yeah, so a very good week. Met a lot of lovely people that I'm probably gonna keep in touch with. So yeah, and who knows? I might do another improv workshop, another improv course. Maybe I join an improv group here in Manchester. But yeah, no. Another great part of the week was just being in London for 5 days. I absolutely adore that city. I hadn't been since I was around, 14, something like that. And last time I went, I saw Les Mis, which was lovely. Absolutely opened my eyes to a whole other world of theater and music. So when I went this time, I did catch a couple shows. I went to see Wicked, I went to see The Tempest as well. So both musical and straight acting. Love it. I just love the hustle bustle of the city. It's all so busy, and that's sort of what I love. I also met up with my TikTok agency, big up to Boost. Which, yeah, no, London is definitely my vibe. I see myself living there sooner rather than later. Someone said a 6-month timer. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this like longer vlog-ish video just of the week in general. It's a weird one to make. I've not started the editing process yet. It's been a learning curve, but I'm kind of enjoying making these videos. So let me know if this is something you want more of. Let me know if this format works or if there are other things that you would like to see. And for the first time, like and subscribe. Okay, see you later, YouTube. Wow. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you want to see more of. Big up, big love. Like and subscribe.